Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Allen with the Center for Holistic Healing. And today I'm here with Heidi, one of our graduates from our program. And she has been so generous to be willing to share her story as, you know, she came through our program and the health issues that she was struggling with prior to coming into the program and how she's doing now that she's graduated. So anyhow, thank you so much, Heidi, for being here and for taking the time to do this and to share your story, because I know that you were one of those that like to watch the video testimonials prior to coming into the program to allow you to kind of gain that confidence in order to make that decision. So Heidi, I want you to just begin by sharing with us what all you had going on prior to coming into the program.
Yes, I was in pretty bad shape. I had an appointment with a rheumatologist scheduled, thinking that I had rheumatoid arthritis for sure. I was in a lot of pain, widespread inflammation, so bad that I had moved my life to one floor of my home so I didn't have to do stairs anymore. I was having migraines regularly, very often, not just on my cycle, but other times randomly that I could not figure out what was causing these debilitating migraines to happen. Fatigue, I was tired all the time. I could hardly get through a day without a nap. It was rough. Stubborn weight that wouldn't go away, belly bloat. I felt like I was living a healthy lifestyle and eating well and exercising, but I was just getting more and more sick. And I had no idea why. And I did not feel like the rheumatologist was going to be able to help me by throwing a drug at me to try to cover up the symptoms. So when I found Dr. Leslie, I liked her approach. I liked the idea of the healing the whole body rather than throwing medication at the symptoms. So that is where I was at, and it's really changed my life to be working with her.
Yes. So just for the viewers, just to give you all some insight. So when any client comes into our program, we basically give them a starting score, and we do that based on a standardized medical symptom questionnaire. And when Heidi came to me, her starting score was a 94, which is a pretty complex patient. So anybody over 100, we really have to take things slowly. But I just remember our first call, Heidi, and you were like, some days you had to use a cane to walk up and down the stairs when you were in a flare. All joints would be stiff and swollen. And so that's just that. I mean, it's crazy. So how are you doing today?
I am way better. I don't have the flares anymore at all. So I have a little bit of creak in my joints, but that's to be expected after having the inflammation for years and years like I did. But yeah, much less pain, much less inflammation. The migraines are gone. I just worked out for 2 hours. That was unheard of previous to this program. I could hardly do anything. So yeah, it's really given me a whole new lease on life. I'm not tired all the time. I don't need a nap every day. I was seriously considering before the program that I couldn't work anymore, that how could I hold a job? But I'm job seeking again, and actively out in the world and able to do things without canceling plans on my friends and family all the time because I feel terrible. So it's been huge for me. I've lost 20 pounds. I've lost a lot of the belly bloat and just able to do an hour of yoga without stopping halfway through. Awesome. Yeah, big difference. I had hard nodules in my hands and all my joints, and those have just gone away, which was crazy to me. I thought those were for life. Better sleep, better digestion. I mean, really, my whole body has changed. So, and now I'm joining a boot camp class next week.
Yay, you're going to. That's awesome. You're going to so enjoy that.
I know. So I feel like I'm doing a lot, but just a little more muscle toning is what I need now. So yeah, it's really been miraculous, honestly, recovery for me. And I owe it all to the program. I do. I was trying and trying to do it myself, and I just didn't have the tools. So between the testing, the supplements, and the accountability of being in the program and working with Dr. Casey and Dr. Leslie, that made all the difference for me.
Right. And just so you all know, we do comprehensive testing. So Heidi, you'll have to remind me. I know for you, we obviously, I do genetics on all of my patients. I think that is one of the most powerful tools. Not that it tells you real-time results, but it does at least give us a better insight into your genetic tendencies. So that way, when it is time to set you up on a long-term plan, we know what those tendencies are. So we can support your body from a long-term perspective. And while we can't change your genetics, we can certainly change the genetic expression by supporting it through lifestyle medicine. So through diet, exercise, stress management, and supplementation. And then we ran a stool test, a hormone test, and a urine test as well to show us from a cellular perspective. Were those the ones that we ran on you? Am I lagging?
Yes. And I think the genetic test was the most telling. It set us up for, all of the lifelong plan, and like how what I'm doing in my life affects everything based on the genetic makeup. So that was really a powerful tool. In fact, I'm planning to have my son do the testing as well, just so we know what he has going on with him. I think it's a really powerful tool to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you already kind of mentioned a few things. So the comprehensive testing, the supplements, the accountability piece from both Dr. Casey, who is our mindset mentor, and we also have another mindset mentor now, Stephanie, that is also a physical therapist and a professional yoga therapist. So elaborate on that just a little bit for the viewers of what that is like from an accountability perspective, but also I think one of the biggest things that probably stands our program apart from many other programs is the mindset piece that we do incorporate and pulling in that, kind of the medical therapeutic yoga and the Ayurveda into the intervention. So it isn't just a meal plan and supplement regimen that we put people on, but we are working with you on how the mind can control mind, gratitude, a lot of those other more maybe Eastern approaches that we do pull into the equation. So share with them a little bit what that looks like.
Yeah, so for me, mindset was huge. I thought my body was broken, and I had to overcome that in order to heal my body. So I think that came both through the calls with Dr. Casey.
We're lagging just a little. Yeah. Sorry, Heidi. Okay, repeat that. Yeah, we were lagging.
Okay. Yes. So I said for me, the mindset piece was a huge piece of it. I had felt like my body was broken and that I couldn't fix myself. And I was wrong, obviously, but I needed the mindset piece to be put into play to overcome that. And I think that was both through the calls with you and Dr. Casey, but even more so the weekly group calls were huge for me. And everyone in the group reminding me, and you reminding about, continuing to do the breathing exercises and the meditation and the yoga and the self-talk and all of the tools that helped me get to the point where I could believe that I could fix myself. Right. Because you're right. It's one thing to do the food and the supplements and the exercise, but if your mind isn't in the right place, you're not going to get there. So that was a big part of it for me too.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, it's the driver of all things. And so we have to make sure that we're having the right conversation with both ourselves, and then also a big thing that we do coach on is around relationships as well, because they can be super toxic. And so really just not even looking at, environmental toxins and things to that nature, but also what are the major stressors that are in your life? And then how do we develop interventions and strategies around that? Is it effective communication skills, or is it time blocking and time management? So really taking this kind of holistic approach to help you thrive. And I do feel like that is the benefit. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I've designed it in more of a program format. It's because it's hard to get to know someone on that level if you're just doing a visit once a month, but to see you week after week, and to feel your energy week after week, and to know when you've dipped a little from a vibrational frequency standpoint, and then how can we support that in order to get you back to where you need to be in order to really allow your body to thrive. So what would you say? You've already told us your benefits and all these major health changes, but from a life perspective, just stepping back, like overall, you're a mom, you're a woman, like how has this impacted your life?
Right. Well, I think I was starting to get to the point where I was almost like a hermit in my home, and I couldn't go out. I didn't feel like I could spend much time away from home because I wouldn't feel well enough. I used to be a huge traveler, and I love to travel, and I really felt hindered by that, by my illness before. And did not feel like I could go to Europe or take a long extended trip because what if I have a flare? What if I feel terrible? So I think for me, spending time with my son also, we're much more active now. We do a lot of activities. We go on adventures. That just wasn't happening. So I think not only for me, it's been huge, but for other people in my life, my family, my mother, who I travel with a lot, she'll be happy to take a trip again soon. And my son and my friends and family, everyone is benefiting from my feeling better and being able to be out in the world again. So I think that's the biggest difference for me, just as far as lifestyle goes.
Awesome. Well, Heidi, it was such a pleasure working with you. I mean, your results, your attitude, you came into the program and you really were dedicated. And that's the one thing that I always tell everyone, is that it's not easy, right? There were hard times.
It was hard. It was hard work. And I've been on the program for 10 months, and it was the hardest work in the beginning, but you have to put in the work, and then you start seeing benefits pretty quickly. I mean, I felt benefits within a couple of weeks of cleaning up my diet and then the supplements, and it was amazing how fast it did go. But yeah, it's definitely, it takes dedication.
It does take time. It takes time. It takes dedication. Really leaning in. It takes trust. I think, during those periods where it's like, oh, you have a setback. Everybody has a setback, right? Like in our group calls, everybody has a setback. And that's another reason I do group calls, is because you're not alone when you have a setback. It's part of healing. It's part of building confidence of how to get back up when you do have a setback. And I think that those are the most beneficial tools that you can walk away with. But it was just such a pleasure, though. You always came with a great attitude, even when you were kind of down and not feeling the greatest. And so you were a fantastic client to have, but to see your health really blossom and for you to regain, I mean, obviously you're incredibly young. And so to hear that you can't walk up the stairs of your home at times is devastating, and to not really have any answers. So the fact that you've achieved all of that, and in my opinion, in a very short period of time, you've done outstanding. So thank you.
Thank you. I owe it all to you and your program. I really do. Like I said, I'd been trying and trying and trying for years. And I'd been sick for over 10 years, and 10 months, yeah, that's very little time to put in and
Very
to
little.
get myself healthy. So I really appreciate you and your program and everything you've done. So thank you.
Wonderful. Well, for those of you that are viewing this, if you are interested in, contacting me or finding out more about our program, I do offer free 15-minute phone consultations. And essentially what that looks like, we'll jump on the phone. I'll want to hear your story. I'll have some more direct questions, basically to see if we can serve you at the highest level. We are a results-driven program. We do stand behind our results. And so I would love to jump on a call with you and see if it's a right fit. If so, I will include the link for that call in the copy of this testimonial. And otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.